Have you ever felt exhausted from trying to make everyone happy? That quiet heaviness in your chest, the tension in your jaw when someone asks you for a favor you don't want to do, but you say yes anyway. That lingering guilt when you try to say no, or when you finally do, only to end up apologizing afterward. You tell yourself you're just being nice, that it's good to help others, that you don't want to cause conflict. But deep down, you feel something slipping away. Your time, your energy, your identity. What if I told you that your desire to please everyone might be the very thing that's slowly destroying you? In a world that praises kindness, helpfulness, and generosity, it is easy to fall into the trap of thinking that our worth is tied to how much we give to others. But there's a fine line between kindness and self-betrayal, and many of us cross that line more often than we think. People-pleasing isn't just about being agreeable, it's about a deep-rooted fear. The fear of rejection, of being disliked, of not being enough unless we're useful. And this fear can quietly eat away at our confidence, our relationships, and even our mental health. Today, we were going to uncover the hidden cost of always trying to be the nice one. You might be shocked to realize how much of yourself you was, but sacrificed in the name of harmony. So if you've ever felt like you're giving too much, if you've ever wondered why you're so tired, even when you haven't done much physically, this video is for you. Let's take a deep breath. Let's get honest. And let's explore the question: are you secretly destroying yourself just to please others? In today's hyper-connected world, where social validation is just a tap away, the pressure to be liked, accepted, and approved has never been stronger. We're constantly bombarded with messages that subtly, or not so subtly, suggest that being liked equals being worthy. We learn to smile even when we're hurting. We say yes when we mean no. We overextend ourselves to help others, even when it means neglecting our own needs. But why? Why do so many of us become trapped in this cycle of people-pleasing? Psychologically, the roots of people-pleasing often stem from childhood. Perhaps you grew up in an environment where love was conditional, where approval came only when you were obedient, helpful, or good. Maybe you were praised for being the peacemaker, the caretaker, the one who kept everything together. Over time, that role becomes an identity. You become the one who says, "It's okay, I can handle it," even when you can't. As adults, this can manifest in subtle but powerful ways. We might fear saying no because we think it makes us selfish. We might avoid conflict because we fear being abandoned. We might go out of our way to help others because we fear being seen as difficult, or worse, unlovable. The cost? Chronic stress, emotional burnout, and a loss of connection with our true selves. This video isn't about shaming kindness. Kindness is powerful. Compassion is necessary. But self-sacrifice shouldn't be your default setting. There is a huge difference between giving from a full heart and giving because you feel like you have no choice. So let's dive deeper. Let one look at the signs that you're destroying yourself just to please others, and what you can do to stop. 1. Constantly saying yes when you want to say no. One of the clearest signs of people-pleasing is the inability to say no. Even when you're overwhelmed, exhausted, or simply not interested, you still agree to help out. Why? Because the idea of disappointing someone feels unbearable. 2. Feeling responsible for other people's emotions. Do you feel guilty when someone else is upset, even when it has nothing to do with you? People-pleasers often take on the emotional burdens of others, believing it's their job to make everyone feel okay. 3. Avoiding conflict at all costs. Conflict feels dangerous to a people-pleaser. You might go to great lengths to keep the peace, even if it means staying silent when something is wrong, or pretending everything is fine when it's not. 4. Putting others' needs above your own. Whether it's staying late at work to help a colleague, or constantly being the one your friends rely on, you find yourself always prioritizing others. Your own needs? They get pushed to the bottom of the list. 5. Seeking external validation. People-pleasers often struggle with low self-esteem. They look to others for approval, needing constant reassurance that they're doing the right thing or being a good person. 6. Feeling resentful and drained. Even if you don't admit it out loud, the exhaustion catches up. You start to feel resentment. You might wonder why people don't appreciate your efforts, or why you feel so tired and unfulfilled. These patterns might feel familiar because they are incredibly common. But just because they're common doesn't mean they're healthy. Unaddressed, these habits can lead to serious emotional consequences. The mental health toll of people-pleasing. When you're constantly prioritizing others over yourself, your nervous system remains on high alert. You become hyper-aware of others' moods, constantly monitoring how you're perceived. This creates chronic stress. Over time, it can manifest as anxiety, depression, and even physical symptoms like fatigue, headaches, or insomnia. Relationship imbalance. People pleasers often attract takers, those who are more than happy to receive, but rarely give back. This leads to unbalanced relationships, where your needs are consistently overlooked. Ironically, the more you try to please others, the more you may be taken for granted. Loss of identity. Who are you when you're not trying to make others happy? This is one of the most painful realizations for a people pleaser. After years of molding yourself to fit others' expectations, you may not know what you actually want, feel, or believe. The fear behind the behavior. At the core of people pleasing is fear. Fear of being judged, fear of being unloved, fear of not being enough. This fear can come from early emotional wounds or from living in environments where your worth was measured by your usefulness. Breaking free means confronting these fears and learning that your value isn't a TT tied to how much you do for others. Developing healthy boundaries. The solution isn't to become cold or selfish. It's about balance. Healthy boundaries protect your time, energy, and emotional well-being. They allow you to give from a place of authenticity, not obligation. You can still be kind, still be helpful, but you don't have to lose yourself in the process. Let's pause for a moment. Here is a powerful statistic from a study published in the Journal of Behavioral Medicine. People who consistently suppress their own emotions in favor of social harmony have a 30% higher risk of developing stress-related illnesses, including heart disease. Think about that. Think, by avoiding discomfort, by constantly appeasing others, you could be making yourself physically sick. And yet, the most tragic part is that many people pleasers don't even realize they're doing it. It becomes second nature. They laugh when they want to cry. They agree when they want to scream. If this is you, it's not too late to change. The first step is awareness. Begin noticing when you're saying yes out of fear rather than genuine desire. The second step is permission. Give yourself permission to put yourself first, to say no, to rest, to speak up. And the third step, practice. Like any new skill, setting boundaries takes time. You might feel guilty at first. You might lose people who only liked you for your compliance. But what you gain is worth it. Peace, authenticity, and the rediscovery of who you really are. People-pleasing might look like kindness on the surface, but underneath, it can be a form of self-abandonment. We've explored how always trying to keep others happy can lead to anxiety, burnout, resentment, and even physical illness. We've looked at how fear and low self-worth often drive these behaviors. But the good news is this: you can change. You don't have to choose between being kind and being true to yourself. You can be compassionate and assertive, giving and grounded. Start by recognizing the patterns. Then, take small steps toward reclaiming your time, your voice, and your energy. You deserve relationships where you're valued for who you are, not just what you do. Have you ever found yourself stuck in the people-pleasing trap? What did it cost you? Share your story in the comments below. You never know who might feel less alone because of it. And if you're ready to take the next step toward reclaiming your sense of self, check out our video on how to set healthy boundaries without feeling guilty. Remember, being true to yourself isn't selfish. It's necessary.